He started going through the internet, and he just couldn't help himself. Trump made the cover of Time magazine, which he usually loves. You know, before he was president, he had fake Time magazine covers hanging on the walls of his golf club, for real. But this one, I guess, conjured up some mixed feelings because of the photo they used. It's upset him so much that at 1:36 a.m. he posted, Time magazine wrote a relatively good story about me, but the picture...
You won't believe this. Donald Trump just had a full-blown meltdown after Jimmy Kimmel dropped an image that shattered the internet and, apparently, Trump's composure. We're talking next-level chaos. Tweets flying, tempers flaring, and the internet losing its collective mind. Whatever was in that image hit harder than anyone expected, sparking pure comedy gold. This isn't just a moment, it's a masterpiece of internet history. Get ready for wild reactions, non-stop laughs, and the kind of drama you can't make up.
She said Kamala has one big advantage. She's a very beautiful woman. She's a beautiful woman. So I decided to go back and reread the clause. I'm not saying he's, but I say that I am much better looking than her. I think I'm much better. Much better. I'm a better looking person than Kamala.
And she saw it. One image and the world seemed to stop spinning. Birds went silent, the air froze, and somewhere a gold-plated golf cart nearly hurled itself into the sea in despair. Trump just stared, wide-eyed as if the screen had personally mocked every follicle on his head. This wasn't just an image, it was a digital detonation, a perfectly engineered masterpiece built to shatter egos and ignite chaos. And when it hit, it didn't just land, it obliterated.
Disappeared my hair, and then had something floating on top of my head that looked like a floating crown, but an extremely small one, really weird. Now, I want to go back to that cover and show you this crown. Okay, that's not a crown, that's the letter M. Only he would see an M on his head and assume it's a crown. If that's not an M, you're on the cover of Time magazine, okay? Finally.
Wait a second. Loving the video? Let's make it official. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more exciting content, because the best is yet to come. Now let's head back to the video. The image was Kimmel's masterpiece of chaos, a flawless fusion of Photoshop, memes, and merciless satire. It showed Trump in a scene so outrageously absurd that future historians might call it the peak of late-night dominance over fragile egos. Every pixel screamed mockery, every detail perfection. And Trump's reaction? Just one stunned, world-stopping blink.
He says he would carry out a deportation operation to remove more than 11 million people from the country. He says he would use the military to build migrant detention camps. He would let red states monitor women's pregnancies and prosecute those who violate abortion bans. He would, at his personal discretion, withhold funds appropriated by Congress. He would fire any U.S. attorney who wouldn't carry out his order to prosecute. He's weighing pardons for everyone who attacked the Capitol January 6th.
Kimmel unleashed a masterpiece of beautiful chaos, a lethal mix of Photoshop genius, meme magic, and unrelenting satire. The image placed Trump in a scene so wildly absurd that historians may one day crown it the height of late night's rule over fragile egos. Every pixel mocked with precision, every detail gleamed. And Trump? He simply blinked.
For wearing that tie down to your knees. Every morning is a game of who am I mad at today? Is it the Cracker Barrel logo? Is it windmills? Is it Bad Bunny? Is it the Nobel Prize? Or is it the turkey vagina slapping around over my chin? I'm not sure we're even allowed to show his neck on TV. Wouldn't it be funny if the FCC fined us for showing his neck on TV?
But let's rewind. Because while Trump's ego was combusting in public, a quieter storm was spreading. Grocery prices soared, rent climbed beyond reach, and health insurance threatened to double overnight. Meanwhile, Congress sat motionless, frozen, in partisan paralysis, as everyday Americans paid the price for a spectacle that never seemed to end.
He might not come to the aid of an ally in Europe or Asia if he felt that country wasn't paying enough. He would gut the civil service, he would close the White House Pandemic Preparedness Office, and staff his administration only with those who believed the election was stolen from him. And when they asked about dictatorship, he said, I think a lot of people like it. And he's on the cover of Time magazine. He should be on the cover of...
Republicans, the self-proclaimed champions of the American worker, were conveniently on break, likely crafting sandcastles with taxpayer dollars or polishing their golden pens. Meanwhile, everyday Americans were staring into empty grocery carts, doing the quiet math of survival. Then came the twist. Mayel Green, the undisputed queen of MAGA, finally broke her silence. But this wasn't the usual party line chatter. No, Green came swinging with the fury of 1,000 Bernie Sanders speeches. She accused her own party of playing political theater, while single mothers struggled to buy milk and bread. The irony was almost poetic. When a MAGA icon starts preaching fairness and accountability, you know the foundation is cracking. And through it all, Kimmel's image remained silent, smug, untouchable. Like a cat watching a cornered mouse, it didn't move or speak, yet it said everything. It became a mirror reflecting the absurdity of power and the fragility of ego. In one viral moment, it reduced presidential composure to dust, exposing the raw, unfiltered chaos beneath the gold-plated surface. The suggestion of dignity? Gone. Vaporized under the bright, relentless glare of collective laughter and indignation. The world didn't just see an image. It witnessed an empire of ego finally start to wobble.
So the White House press secretary pushed back. She said the president looked great and presidential alongside our stunning first lady, who was, as usual, dressed perfectly for the occasion. And she's right about Melania. I don't know about stunning, but she definitely looks stunned. Show them together, because this is the happiest I've ever seen these two together. It's like they're on their second honeymoon or something. And then the president either went deep in prayer or deep asleep. I don't know.
Let's talk about the domino effect. While Trump wrestled with his pixelated nemesis, the real world smoldered quietly. Trade agreements with Canada, Mexico, and Turkey had lifted retaliatory measures, supposedly a win for U.S. commerce. But in practice, families were still scrambling. Costs kept climbing, food prices soared, and health insurance premiums crept toward terrifying double digits. Meanwhile, Republicans stood by, watching as working families, single mothers, and small business owners struggled to stay afloat. And then there were the farmers. Oh, the farmers. The proud soybean growers and family-run farms once promised prosperity through trade now found themselves buried under broken deals and dwindling profits. Their fields still stretched wide, but hope was shrinking fast. The great deal turned out to be little more than a glossy illusion. One more promise traded for applause.
Not Trump. In fact, if you Google Trump wearing sunglasses, you get thousands of pictures of him not wearing sunglasses, except the only pictures of him wearing anything even like them are shots of him during the solar eclipse. The glasses he then famously took off so he could stare directly into the sun. Weird though, right? I mean, he golfs a lot. He's outside a lot. I'm wondering why he doesn't wear sunglasses. Because it's Biden's thing, or did he wear them once as a kid and his dad said, "You look stupid," like his sons, Eric and Don Jr.? I don't know the answer. It's the only thing I don't know about this person. I think he would look good in sunglasses.
And Trump? Still obsessed with that image. The world could be unraveling around him. Soaring inflation, crushing rent, health insurance premiums climbing into the stratosphere, and he wouldn't notice. His focus was locked on the photo Kimmel aired, as if defeating it would fix everything. It was like watching a man battle his own reflection while his house burned to ashes. Every sigh, every mutter, every frantic gesture screamed, "I'm fine. Everything's fine." But nothing was. Suggestions bounced off walls of fury, ricocheting through panic before dissolving into chaos. As night fell, the image lingered, silent, still, unstoppable. It needed no sound or motion to dominate. It hovered like a digital ghost, a perfect, mocking reminder that ego burns faster than any fire it refuses to see.
Well, Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago. So, you can call that free speech or not. He was fired for lack of talent. Where's my Nobel Peace Prize they don't talk about?
Trump wants that Nobel Prize so badly.
They should give me the Nobel Prize. Everyone says that I should get the Nobel Peace Prize.
Israel and Hamas have agreed to phase 1 of the peace plan he forced on them because they're giving out the Nobel Peace Prize tomorrow. He grabbed them.
Reflections in silverware. Shadows on the ceiling, even the dog's eyes seemed to mock him. Trump tried to eat, to sleep, to scroll past the chaos, but every screen led back to the same torment. Kimmel's image, silent and triumphant. The internet erupted, turning the moment into an ongoing saga of digital theater. TikTok recreations multiplied, Instagram reels went viral, and news anchors analyzed every flinch, every squint, every muttered denial. Headlines screamed, "Breaking, the presidency's image, mirrors at Mar-a-Lago weep." The spectacle was irresistible. Chaos, comedy, and poetic justice colliding in real time. Meanwhile, everyday Americans still face soaring costs, empty shelves, and political gridlock. But the circus had taken center stage. In the finale, Trump attempted revenge, launching his own meme army. The results? Disastrous. One meme crowned Kimmel a potato king, another surrounded him with confused puppies. Each effort only deepened the humiliation, cementing Kimmel's image as the unchallenged victor of the viral battlefield.
Our government is now officially shut down because we don't have funding to pay the federal workers. Trump really is running the country like it's one of his businesses. He said he would. Just to give you some perspective, the government being shut down is even worse than when it's up and running. Republicans would like you to believe that Democrats shut the government down, but the bill they wanted the Democrats to sign would knock out about 15 million Americans from health insurance. If this bill passes, your health insurance premiums could go up 75%, so there was no way the Democrats could vote for it.
It was a cosmic joke, an exquisite collision of irony, ego, and digital humiliation, and not even the president could escape it. By the next morning, the verdict was undeniable. The image had won. It shattered egos, rewrote timelines, and became a cultural landmark. Memes multiplied, reaction videos flooded every feed, and fan art immortalized the moment. Historians might one day call it the moment comedy conquered reality. Kimmel, no doubt, was somewhere sipping champagne, plotting the sequel, another image, another meltdown, another glittering chapter of golden chaos. The lesson was crystal clear. Comedy isn't harmless. It's powerful, merciless, and capable of toppling giants with a single punchline or pixel. While Americans still battled rising costs, stagnant wages, and political paralysis, the nation laughed together, briefly united by absurdity. That one image, born from satire, became something larger, a mirror reflecting power's fragility and pride's downfall. It brought the mighty low, humbled the proud, and left a digital scar the internet will never forget. In the end, it proved that humor isn't just entertainment. It's history written in laughter and pixels.
77% of Americans want the Epstein files released, but 100% of our American president does not want them released. Trump's treating these Epstein files like the grumpy old neighbor on Halloween. He turns off all the lights and just hopes the trick-or-treaters will assume there's nobody home. He's like, do you people not understand what a wonderful secret means? Today, Caitlin Collins from CNN asked Trump whether he plans to pardon Epstein's right-hand woman, Ghislaine Maxwell, and whereas he's usually, very quick to weigh in bigly on this type of thing, for this one, suddenly even-tempered and even deferential.
The Supreme Court is back in session. Yeah. They rejected today an appeal by Ghislaine Maxwell to overturn her conviction. That means her only chance at getting out of prison is a pardon from you. Is that something you're open to?
Who are we talking about?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
I haven't heard the name in so long. I can say this, that I'd have to take a look at it. I'll look at
And
it.
for the rest of us, sit back, grab some popcorn, and enjoy the spectacle. When ego is this fragile and comedy this precise, the world transforms into a stage, the internet a theater, and a single image can bring a president to his knees. As the meltdown stretched into the evening, Trump's attempts at recovery became increasingly theatrical. First, he sought advice. What do we do about this image? He reportedly demanded, though no one dared answer. Every suggestion, even the mildest, was met with suspicion, as if treason had been proposed. One courageous aide suggested scrolling through other news to distract him. Big mistake. Somehow, every article linked back to the image. Assistants ducked behind furniture. Advisors tiptoed like stealthy ninjas. And one intern was reportedly assigned the delicate task of holding a golden mirror at a precise angle to prevent Trump from glimpsing his reflection, which could have triggered further chaos. Security, meanwhile, prayed the lawn wouldn't spontaneously combust from sheer psychic energy. By mid-evening, his focus had narrowed entirely to the image. Trade deals, struggling farmers, soaring rent, empty grocery carts all vanished. In that moment, nothing existed outside the digital masterpiece that held him hostage, silent yet devastating.
Refuse to sign this budget agreement is because it will cause millions of Americans to lose their health care. Republicans deny this. They say it won't hurt anyone at all. And if you had any doubt that they were lying before, consider this shocking post from the gentlewoman from Georgia who wrote, "I'm not a fan of Obamacare, but I'm going to go against everyone on this issue because when the tax credits expire this year, my own adult children's insurance premiums for 2026 are going to double, along with all the wonderful families and hardworking people in my district. No, I'm not towing the party line on this or playing loyalty games." And I know this sounds crazy, but
None of it mattered. The photo had become an all-consuming vortex of rage and disbelief. He tried to counterattack, calling friends, allies, even random strangers, demanding strategies to neutralize an image designed solely to mock him. No one had a playbook for destroying a viral meme. Meanwhile, the internet thrived. Memes evolved at lightning speed. One showed Trump riding a scooter into a tornado labeled reality. Another depicted him wrestling a giant pixelated Kimmel like a WWE showdown, a scoreboard flashing in the corner. Meanwhile, real-world crises quietly persisted. Family farmers struggled. Small business owners groaned under inflation. Ordinary Americans bore the weight, unseen amidst the digital chaos. Yet online, absurdity reigned. The next day, Trump attempted a comeback. He planned a press conference to reclaim the narrative. But each time he approached a camera, some subtle reference to the viral photo appeared, an animation on a screen, a tweet, a background poster. No matter the effort, the image lingered, omnipresent, mocking, unstoppable, the perfect late-night punchline to a reality that refused to wait.
why does he always sound like the dumbest member of the crime family? You remember in Goodfellas, Frankie, after the airline heist, he immediately bought his wife a fur coat? Frankie is our president now. Velveto Corleone. The reason the Democrats refuse to sign this budget agreement is because it will cause millions of Americans to lose their health care. Republicans deny this. They say it won't hurt anyone at all. And if you had any doubt that they were lying before, consider this shocking post from the gentlewoman from Georgia who wrote, "I'm not a fan of Obamacare."
Change a teleprompter glitch? Image. A squeaky microphone? Image. By afternoon, aides began to lose hope. Meetings collapsed into surreal chaos. One advisor suggested turning the image into an NFT, calling it a Trump-proof asset. Another proposed hiring a Photoshop army to make corrected versions, but every attempt only amplified the original's dominance. Meanwhile, ordinary Americans, oblivious to the pixelated storm engulfing the president, faced mounting struggles. Food prices climbed, rent rose, and health insurance premiums crept ever higher. Late at night, Trump reportedly attempted a final gambit: distraction. People were dressing as the image, posting reaction videos and creating TikTok dances inspired by his expressions. It had become a full-blown cultural phenomenon, a perfect storm of absurdity, hilarity, and digital domination. The internet, relentless as always, had taken a single moment and transformed it into an epic saga that refused to fade, mocking, omnipresent, and utterly unstoppable.